One diss track got performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, swept 5 Grammys in a single night, and ended up at the center of a federal lawsuit, all coming out of one of the most brutal rap feuds in recent history. This is the real story behind Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button. Let's get into it. Drake and Kendrick Lamar didn't start out as rivals. Back in 2011, Kendrick was featured on Drake's own album, on a track called Buried Alive Interlude. Drake liked him enough to invite Kendrick, alongside A$AP Rocky, to open his Club Paradise tour the following year. They kept working together after that too, appearing on tracks like Fucking Problems and Kendrick's own song, Poetic Justice. In interviews around that time, Kendrick called Drake a genuine soul and said the two of them clicked immediately. This was not always a rivalry, it used to be a friendship. But that friendship had an expiration date. In 2013, Kendrick dropped a guest verse on Big Sean's song Control that named a long list of rappers, Drake included, as competition he intended to beat. It wasn't just a jab at one person. It named so many artists at once that it became one of the most talked about verses in modern rap history. And it forced almost every rapper Kendrick named to respond publicly in some way. Drake was one of them, and after that verse, the two of them stopped working together entirely. For over a decade, that tension just sat there, quiet, unresolved, waiting. Then, in early 2024, everything changed with one more verse. J. Cole released a song calling himself Drake, and Kendrick the Big Three of rap right now. Kendrick responded almost immediately, appearing on a Future and Metro Boomin track called Like That, rejecting the label outright with the line, "It's just Big Me. No Big Three, just him." J. Cole didn't take that quietly. He fired back with his own track, 7-Minute Drill, directly attacking Kendrick's catalogue. It actually debuted at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. But just 2 days later, Cole did something almost nobody expected. He pulled the song from every streaming platform completely and publicly apologized to Kendrick on stage at his own festival, calling it one of the worst decisions of his career. J. Cole was out of the fight for good, but Drake wasn't going anywhere. That single Like That verse didn't just start a feud, it started a countdown. Drake struck first with Push-Ups, a track mocking Kendrick's height and his business deals, but that was just the opening shot. Next came Tailor-Made Freestyle, which used AI-generated vocals modeled after Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg to needle Kendrick for taking too long to respond. That one didn't last long. Tupac's estate raised concerns, and Drake pulled it down entirely. Kendrick, meanwhile, had been waiting. He answered with Euphoria, a long, multi-part track that shifted tone and beat several times while tearing into Drake's character and authenticity. And he wasn't finished. He followed it with 616 in LA, a title that nodded directly at Drake's own 6 branding, implying Kendrick had information from inside Drake's own camp. Then, in the space of one single day, everything exploded at once. Drake responded with Family Matters, making serious claims about Kendrick's personal life. Kendrick didn't wait to respond. Within hours, he released Meet the Grahams, a dark track addressed directly to individual members of Drake's family. And almost immediately after that, on that same night, he dropped Not Like Us. Quick break. If you're enjoying this kind of music history deep dive, go ahead and subscribe for more videos like this, breaking down the real stories behind the biggest songs and celebrity moments in pop culture. Okay, back to the story, because this is where it stopped being a rap battle entirely. Not Like Us is where this feud became a full-blown cultural moment. Produced by Mustard, the song made serious accusations against Drake. Allegations Drake has firmly denied. But regardless of where you land on them, the song itself took over everything. It became the defining song of the summer, and the fallout was only getting started. At the following year's Grammys, it swept 5 awards in a single night, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year, making it the most awarded rap song in Grammy history. On top of that, it spent 3 separate weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, including a return to the top spot after Kendrick performed it live at the Super Bowl halftime show in front of one of the largest television audiences of the year. And that performance had one more layer to it. During the song, tennis legend Serena Williams appeared on stage and did a brief victory dance, a callback to a dance she'd once been criticized for doing at Wimbledon years earlier. It wasn't random. Williams grew up in Compton, the same city as Kendrick, and she and Drake have their own well-documented history since he'd referenced her in his own lyrics more than once in the past. Her appearing in that exact moment, in that exact song, read as anything but a coincidence. In the week after that performance alone, streams of the song shot up 430% on Spotify. Drake responded with a track called The Heart Part 6, directly denying the accusations. But the real twist was still coming, and it had nothing to do with music at all. Drake went on to file a federal lawsuit, not against Kendrick, but against his own record label, Universal Music Group, claiming the label knowingly promoted a false narrative through the song. The lawsuit pointed to something very specific, a real incident where an armed group showed up at Drake's home and a security guard was shot and wounded. Drake said the fallout from the song had made his family's safety a genuine concern, to the point that he pulled his child out of school. A federal judge dismissed the case anyway, ruling that a diss track is understood by listeners as heated opinion inside a rap battle, not a factual accusation. Drake didn't accept that. He appealed, and right now, the case is still being fought in federal court. Years after the song stopped, this feud technically still hasn't ended. By the time the dust settled, plenty of critics were already calling this one of the most dominant single stretches by any artist in modern rap history. Not just because of how the individual songs performed, but because of how completely one track ended up defining an entire year in music. So, out of everything in this feud, which moment do you think hit the hardest? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you want to see how music's biggest rivalries have played out across the decades, I made a video on exactly why Michael Jackson and Prince never got along. You can check it out by clicking right here.